Let us go. That sounds all right.
Language power. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zahid Ali. I am the principal of this course. And we have managed to make another season. This is season 2 out of 27 seasons with 10 episodes each. And what is the purpose of this course? Well, the purpose of this course is what's happening with this fucking music. I'm sorry,
I don't know.
language.
Unsure.
Language power. So I'll turn it off. Yeah. So the purpose of this course is is to learn Norwegian. Jamie Andrews, or we've changed his name now in the papers. He passed the test and he's in the second season, and he's getting a Norwegian passport now soon. It's still a bit green.
I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah, that was a surprise. You know, I have contacts.
Pass the test, get a passport.
That's why it's called pass the test, you know.
Oh, very good.
The purpose of this course is to learn Jeppe Andreassen Norwegian, basic Norwegian after 17 years. Because of his utgangspunkt, it will take around about 17 years. And he will then also learn to understand the basics of Norwegian sign language. Have a basic understanding of building a boat, the concept behind, how does that work? Why does it float?
Okay.
You're laughing now, but when I'm going to ask you in the exam for the third season to make a boat and try to float on it over to Moss, then we'll see who will have the last laugh.
Oh, no.
And you will also learn to appreciate Norwegian people in every circumstances. And you will develop... yes, please fill in.
Oh, yeah.
You will develop.
I'll develop just as a person.
Yes.
Okay. I'm up for some personal development.
Very
nice.
good, Jeppe Andreassen. And this is today's episode. It's Season 2 and it's Season 1. No, it's Season 2 and it's Episode 1. I'm sorry. It's it's been a holiday for me. It's a week since last season.
Last season, yeah. So, did you say Jeppe Andersen was my new name?
Jeppe Andreassen, yeah. Yes.
Andreas.
Sen.
Because I actually... years ago, I nearly changed my surname to Anderson. I'm not even joking.
Why?
Because I was changing my name, my surname, and I was going to take the surname of one of my best mates, who was Anderson. So, So there would have been two Jamie Andersons. You
wanted to be his brother?
No, I was just going to take it to annoy him more than anything else. It was I wasn't even going to tell him. And then one day I was just going to just be there, and then they'll be like, "Oh, Jamie Anderson." I'll be like, "Yeah, that's me." And then he'd be like, No, don't be silly, Jamie." And I'll be like, "No, you don't be silly, Jamie." And then I was going to show him my passport.
You can take my name and you can become a fugitive too.
Zahid Ali.
Yes, and then you lose all your rights.
Thing is, if I took the name Zahid Ali, I think you'd just get me in trouble.
Yes.
All the time. But then saying that, so would Jamie Anderson, thinking about it. I'm glad I didn't do it now.
Today we are going to learn about Norwegian sayings and quotes and sayings. What do you call sayings in English?
Sayings.
Beg your pardon?
Sayings.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing.
And it's a bit difficult to start with that, but I'm thinking of just starting a bit heavy, and because it's det er ikke bare.
It's what?
Det er ikke bare.
It's ikke bara.
Yes.
What's a bara?
Bare.
Bara.
Just. So what do you think it means?
I don't know. Ikke means not.
Det
It's not,
ikke.
There are, so it is not. Bara.
Bare means just.
It's not just.
Yes!
What does that mean?
It means it's not just, you know?
It's not just.
That was my laughter with my asthma and everything came up. But
It sounded like Muttley.
Muttley Crew?
Not Lee Crow.
Muttley Crew?
Muttley. No, Muttley. Muttley from Scooby-Doo. Oh no, Dick Dastardly Muttley. Not.
Oh, they got different names here. It's probably Ola or Anders. So I'm not familiar with the English names of the English cartoons. No, just Norwegian. It's probably Johannessen or Jensen, Isaksen. So it's not just, you know.
What does that mean?
Well, it's not, you know, it's not so easy.
Oh, it's not just.
I'll just fix this. No, it's not just. It's difficult. So that's the saying. Det er ikke bare. And you know, we live near a place called Borre.
Borre, yeah.
Yes, and Borre. So I used to joke and say, det er ikke bare. And that means, and I'm hiding it in a dialect because
it sounded like Bergen dialect.
Yeah, it's a weird dialect. I put it in because nobody says borre instead of bare, so I hide it in a dialect. So it feels more realistic, and then someone laughs, and you know I have a good time of.
Yeah.
So that's the first saying that you can say, and you can say it all the time, especially out in the districts.
Det er ikke bare.
Yeah, but not like Robocop.
Det er ikke bare.
But like, det er ikke bare. if you put on a laughter, unsecure one.
Insecure laughter.
Yes, det er ikke bare.
All right.
So then you're like saying that, oh, I didn't mean to offend you. And it's like, it's not so easy as you think it is. It's just jumping. Det er bare å hoppe herfra over til det andre fjellet. No, det er ikke bare. It's not just, you know. So you can use this in English when you're...
It's not just. Can you say it in English to a Norwegian and they'll know what you mean?
It isn't just. You could try. We can maybe call someone and just say that.
No, it's not just.
So I can't turn on my iPad. So how do you just press the side button? It's no problem. And then you can say like, it's not just.
Yeah, that could work. And then laugh insecurely afterwards. Like that.
That was very insecure, but it's a you can come very far with it's that just because mostly people agree on that. There's nobody who's like, what? Of course it's just. But do you think you can use it in English? Like when you call some friend and you can just put it in there? You know,
it's not just. No, you get the piss taken out of you, I think, if you said that in English. Everyone would be like, what are you on about? What's not just? It doesn't make any sense. It's, I think it's definitely a Norwegian saying. I guess it's not easy would be the equivalent. It's not so easy or it's not easy.
Yeah, but you have easy peasy.
Yeah, easy peasy.
And that's an interesting thing too. The peasy doesn't mean anything, does it?
I think it just rhymes with easy.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the English people got it from India.
Did they?
Because the Indian language is very much rhymes.
Oh.
So you say something and then you have another thing which is kind of means ish.
Oh.
So if you like directly translated, if you ask me, now what are you doing today? No, I'm just driving, shriving, and eating, sheeting, and walking, shocking. And that means walking and things that have to do with walking. Like thank you, brank you.
Are you just making these up now?
Yeah, because it's in English. but in the Urdu, it's Urdu kind of.
Oh, that's cool.
So they have those rhymes just to expand the sentence a little, and because you have a feeling that you want to say more about what you're doing, but you don't want to be specific.
Oh,
so you're
cool.
just driving, and that means you're driving and doing things that has to do with driving and picking up stuff. Because you told me something yesterday about sayings and rhymes.
Oh, Cockney rhyming slang.
Beg your pardon?
Cockney rhyming slang.
So what's that?
It's it's when you rhyme words to mean another word. So you would have Britney Spears would be beer.
So why would you say bear instead of Britney Spears?
Why would you say beer if someone didn't speak rhyming slang, I guess? But it originated from trying to talk by the police or by people that might listen and get away with planning stuff, essentially. So if you didn't want people to hear, you'd talk in a rhyming slang.
So criminal language kind of.
Yeah, I think it came from that predominantly, which is quite interesting.
So what other examples do you have, for example?
Lemon squeezer is one that I use quite a lot, which is geezer, or fridge freezer I use for geezer, or Julius Caesar. That's another one I use for geezer.
So if you're talking to someone about someone who's there, and then you say, "Oh, this guy is a lemon squeezer."
No, I'd say you're right, lemon squeezer. So instead of saying "hello, mate" or something, I'd be like, "You're right, lemon squeezer."
It's kind of childish, or
what, being called a geezer or lemon squeezer?
Lemon squeezer and a freezer.
Fridge freezer. It works. I think it's a very unique thing to London, especially east and South London, where it sort of came from originally. But there's some really good ones. There's some really good fun ones. Like everyone knows, like apple and pears is stairs and stuff like that. But you can get slang, and that's used in the rhyming slang as well. So a snout, for example, is a cigarette, and a salmon and trout is the rhyming slang for a snout. But you wouldn't say salmon and trout, you'd just say, "Have you got a salmon?" So then you'd be like, "What do you mean you've got a salmon?" "Or you got a salmon and trout." "Oh, snout. Okay, yeah. No, I don't smoke." So it's quite interesting in the way that it can link, and the way that the sort of the understand is strange, because a lot of people instinctively understand rhyming slang if you know a few little bits of it from London. It's quite easy to pick up.
Well, things like that is coming also to the Norwegian language. You have an expression called "hva skjer'a," what's up? And then you have "hva skjer'a bagheera," which is, Bagheera means nothing.
Oh, not like their cat from Jungle Book, Bagheera.
Yeah, maybe.
What's up, cat?
So Bagheera is like "thank you, brank you."
Yeah.
What's up? Because the Indian language or Hindi language or Urdu or many Asian languages are like that. There's a feeling of that you want to say more without saying.
Yeah.
Just to make noise. So,
like a politician.
Like a politician, but without saying something that could arrest you or just.
That's interesting. So, would Sef BF be one? Because I've heard someone say that before.
What's that?
Sef BF.
Sef
BF.
BF. Sef means selvfølgelig. That's the opposite. That's a shortcut.
Oh.
So that's, instead of saying selvfølgelig, they say Sef.
Oh.
So you have but that's that's way of speaking, and then you have the sayings, and you have one saying which is very commonly used is the potato is used a lot in sayings.
The potato.
Yes, ingenting så brukbart som poteten. Nothing, do you have potatoes in everything in UK?
No, like, well, you do eat a lot of potatoes, but you don't eat them as much as they do in Norway.
But you can use potatoes for pretty much everything.
Yeah, in Norway you can.
In England you can't?
Well, I'll give you an example. You wouldn't in England you wouldn't use potato instead of pasta in a lasagna.
But is potato? Is there anything else in potato that's more versatile?
It depends what culture you're from, I guess.
Whichever culture.
I suppose in Asian cultures you'd say rice.
Yeah, so you have rice or potatoes. Potatoes is the most versatile thing that you can use, and it's if you don't have rice, you can use potatoes. You can make French fries. You can make mashed potatoes. Everything. So nothing is as versatile as the potato. So the potato is used as lots of sayings about that. Yeah, I'm like the potato. You can use me as a potato, and that's a part of the language. So people use that potato phrase very often.
So it's a way of
he's a potato,
saying he's versatile and he can do lots of different things.
Yeah, he can do whatever you want him to do.
Yeah,
but not the potato head or some just potato. So genital, vaktmester, not genital,
genitals.
That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah,
a vaktmester.
A vaktmester. What does that mean?
A guy who is in charge for stuff in a big. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Ja. Man skal høre mye før øra detter av. And that's a new one. You should listen to a lot before your ears fall off.
Oh, I like that.
What do you think about that quote?
You should listen to a lot before your ears fall off.
Or your ear.
Oh, before your hair falls off.
Your ear must receive a lot of information before they fall off, kind of.
Oh, so you should learn a lot before you get old. Is that what it means?
Yeah, or I'm not sure what it's just. You hear a lot of things, and my ears are still here.
Oh, okay.
Because every information goes through the ears, so they are the first one to get damaged by the information. But you can hear a lot before they fall off.
Oh, that makes sense. I suppose the closer one in the UK would be in one ear and out the other. But that's more if you don't take the information
that's
in.
Totally different. Yeah. That's also more like an international thing. Do you hear it often when you talk that they say, yeah,
in one ear and out the other?
Yeah, it goes in one ear and out the other.
I used to when I was at school, when people were describing me for not being very attentive.
That everything he's saying is going in one.
Yeah, it goes in one ear and out the other.
And then you have like, av barn og fulle folk får man høre sannheten. From the children and drunk people, you'll hear the yes?
Sulasatan. Was it same thing?
What's that?
From children and drunks, you'll hear the same thing. Was that what you said?
No, the truth.
The truth. Oh, that's interesting. I like that saying.
Do you hear the truth from drunk people and children in England, UK too?
Yeah, I think so, because there's less filters. So people are more likely to express themselves without thinking about the consequences.
And here's my favorite. I like this a lot. I don't use it too much. It's a bit old school, but it's while the grass is growing, the cow dies.
Well, the grass is growing, the cow dies.
You like?
Well, yeah, that's funny. What does that mean?
Well, while this is happening.
Oh, that's such a random way of saying, while the grass is growing, the cow dies. It's like you could imagine climbing up this Tibetan mountain to meet a monk to get some wisdom or something like that, and you spend days and years getting up this mountain, and then you get to the top and there's this old monk meditating on a platform, and you're like, tell me your wisdom, Mr. Monk. And he just looks at you and goes, while the grass is growing, the cow dies.
Remember to bring your drums then. The what? The cow dies.
Maybe that's why he's Buddhist.
This music is supposed to be like a theme changer, but there are some critics to the Norwegian sayings. And there are some sayings that doesn't add up, that are wrong. And that's don't take something people say for good fish.
Don't take people something say for good fish. What is this? Are you winding me up? Does that mean?
No. It's let me say it in Norwegian. Then there's a different melody to it, you know. Why are you playing the drums?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so ikke ta det noen sier for god fisk. Don't take what you're saying for somebody telling you for good fish.
What does that mean? Does that mean just don't believe everything someone says straight away?
Yes! Oh, yes!
Don't be gullible.
That's very good. Very good. And that means trust no one. And why?
Trust no one.
But that's the saying. It's not don't take that someone said that or always. It's just don't take that someone tells you for good fish.
Oh, that's interesting.
People are not giving you the good fish.
Oh. What are they giving you? The bad fish?
Yeah, and the bad fish. Fish is often very difficult to hide if it's bad fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can smell it. You don't need to be an expert. You can see in the eyes and the color.
Yeah, like eye patch, flick knives, that sort of thing. That's a sign of a bad fish, isn't it? So the
saying should be something, don't take what people say for something that's more difficult to check. You have a chef background.
Yeah.
Which thing is it? We can change this quote. Is it that you've it's difficult for me to check, like a watermelon quality?
So fish is probably the best example because fish is obviously the most dangerous if it is bad. But like fish and chicken, I would say.
But it's easy to spot. But which thing easy. Is it very hard to spot?
Hard to spot.
Is there a fruit or vegetable?
I would say dried foods can sometimes be hard to spot if they've gone past their date.
So don't take what everybody say to you for good dried food.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, it works.
It's got to be fish.
You think so?
Yeah.
You like the saying?
Yeah. Oh. I think it's one of my favorites. I think that and the cow one are brilliant.
Okay, and what about that here? I think it's some owls in the moose.
Some owls in the moose?
Yes.
Oh, that makes no sense.
It's something fishy here. So you use the fishy term too, you see?
Yeah, it's true.
Everything is fishy. So fishy means that something is smelling, right?
Yeah. So they're a little bit off.
It's not good fish.
Oh, that makes sense. So there's owls in the moose.
Yeah, and there are never owls in the moose.
And
that's why it's fishy, you see?
So something's not what it seems.
Sorry about that. It's my Tourette's. So, in 100 years, everything is forgotten. Norwegians use that a lot, but it's become more and more international now. In 100 years, everything is forgotten. Well, that's not right. I haven't forgot the First World War.
I still remember. I think in this day and age, things can be forgotten quite quickly, though, sometimes because of the speed that the news is happening and the speed things happen on the internet. I think sometimes even in 100 days, things get forgotten that needed to be remembered.
Oh
no, I'm sorry.
Rosin I pølsa. What the? Oh. It has this. What the fuck? It has this tail. I'm sorry. I need to edit that.
Every time.
Rosin, a dried rosin?
Rosin.
Rosin. You know, you have the buns with the rosin? Rosin.
Rosemary?
No, what's wine made of? Red wine.
Grapes.
Dried grape is a...
Raisin.
Yeah, raisin.
Oh, Rosin is raisin.
Yes, don't stop raising your voice now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Raisin, yes. Raisin is rosin. And rosin i pølsa. That's like a big thing, you know. That's a rosin in the pølsa.
A raisin in the sausage?
Yeah, but why would you want a raisin in your sausage?
I don't know. Is that... I feel like this is a trick question. Why would you want a raisin in your sausage? Maybe if it was a regional variety of sausage and you're trying to add a level of sweetness to balance something out, but I can't think of any logical reason why you'd put raisins in.
Rosin i pølsa? Yeah, that's the news. Yeah, that's the rosin i pølsa, you know. But it doesn't add up, so that's the quote that doesn't fit.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
And the next one is, en katt kommer alltid ned på beina. A cat always lands on its feet.
Yeah, that's one in English as well.
But it doesn't.
No?
If you throw them out of Oslo Plaza or a building, there's a cat in there.
Oh, poor cat.
Yes, so it doesn't always land on its feet.
I see. What if it doesn't have any feet?
Yes. What does it land on then?
Yeah, maybe it stumps.
A cat always lands on its stubs if it doesn't have any feet. Your long...
I'm glad we've corrected that saying now.
And there's one quote that lots of Norwegians also have problems with.
Yeah.
Understanding. And I'm not sure I even understand it myself. And it's one bird in the hand is better than 10 on the roof.
One bird in the hand is better than 10 on the roof.
Yes. So the question is, why the fuck would you have one bird in your hand? And why would you have 10 on your roof? Shit's all over the place.
Yeah.
So if you have like some British intelligence into this quote and try to...
Is it something to do with it's better to have something than want more of it that's unattainable?
Maybe. I never used that quote.
Yeah.
And I've actually never heard in my whole life someone...
Say it.
Yeah, but you read it in the books all the time.
Oh. So it's just a writer thing to use for no other reason than... Does it sound nice when you read it?
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Message from abroad.
Hi, this is Ralph from Newton Abbot in God's favourite county, Devon. And I wanted to know, how do you deal with an angry moose?
How would you deal with an angry moose? God's favourite county is the first thing. I don't know how we deal with this. How would you deal with an angry moose, Zahid? I think personally, I would panic because I've never seen a moose, let alone had to deal with one. So...
with a moose, like...
Elk. Yeah, moose.
Moose. How to deal with it?
Yeah, how would you deal with it if it's angry?
With respect.
With respect.
I hope that answers your question.
There you go, Ralph. That's how you deal with an angry moose, with respect.
You should, with respect. I think it's important. And look out for children. If the moose has small calves, then you're in trouble. Especially if you're in the moose's way.
Are they very protective of their
Very protective, like every animal. If you kick a moose child in the balls, then you'll hear from the moose.
If you think it's a cat and then throw it out of a building to see if it lands on its hooves.
And there's a saying in Norwegian, shouting at the moose.
Shouting at the moose?
Yeah. And,
what does that mean?
That means to throw up.
To throw up?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Because of the noise you're making?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I like that.
So
Shouting at them.
and that's a quote Norwegians use all the time. I'm just going to go out and shout at the moose. Be back
I
in
like
2
that.
minutes.
I like that. I think you'd call it a tactical chunder in the UK.
And tactical chander.
Chunder, yeah. So you'd be tactically throwing up so you can carry on drinking, for example.
Oh, tactical chander. Yeah, but this is just throwing up. It's not any tactical. Just I'm going to throw up. That's shouting at the moose. And there's so it's important to also. There's one thing though you can check with the moose. A moose is the least graceful animal on the planet. It's called the king of the woods in Norway, but it's no reason for, because it's walking like a drunk woman on high heels. It has no idea of where it's going, and it's stumbling in its own feet. And so when you hear a moose, before you hear a moose in the jungle, you hear things break as you've never heard before, like a troll is coming, like trees, because they're extremely strong and they're like 800 kilos, and they're 2 meters high at the shoulders, and then you have the head over there.
So they're that big?
Yeah, yes. And they have the gevir, the
antlers.
The stuff on the head.
Yeah, antlers.
The crown.
Yeah.
Antlers?
Antlers.
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 No ants there. Oh, antlers. Yeah. So you can imagine they're huge, and they have fucked up personality, and they have lips like Yasser Arafat hanging just. And you're not sure. Do you want to kiss? Or if you want to kiss. Don't shout at the moose. And so you have no idea. Is it coming to me? Is it going to fall? Probably going to fall. They're like fucked up animals, the least graceful animals in the world. So you just need to stay still.
Yeah.
But the ears can tell a lot.
The ears can, the moose ears.
Yeah. Are they pierced? Then they're looking for trouble. Tattoos. No, if the ears are backwards, then they're stressed.
I see.
But if the ears are straight up, then they're like, they have probably noticed you, but they don't see you as a danger.
A threat.
Yeah. So, and because they kick, that's what they do.
They kick as well.
That's the thing they do. They use the antlers.
Antlers, yeah.
But they kick very hard. They kick harder than a horse. And if you try to get up, they kick you down again. So if you first get kicked by a fucking moose, stay down.
Stay down and then nearly get trampled by 800 kilos of...
Yeah.
Oof.
So that's not a good situation to...
No. No, so don't upset moose calves and be respectful. Let's see.
Yeah, that's about it. Any other questions they have?
I think that was it. It was nice because obviously in the first season, Ralph asked a question on the first episode, but they didn't send their voice in. So it was nice to hear from Ralph this time.
Word of the week.
Okay, it's time for Word of the Week with Jeppe Andreasen. Jeppe, what's the word of the week? What's the word you've been going around and thinking about all the time, and it's been the most important?
So my word, well, it's actually a phrase. It's ordrita podraga, which means to shit on the rope. Ordrita podraga.
Drita podrage?
Drita podraga.
Ah, you've heard that. Somebody's told you that?
Yeah. I'm shit on the rope.
Which circumstances did you hear that?
I was working with someone and he dropped an 80 kilo piece of metal 20 meters down onto the floor, narrowly missing someone else.
Oh.
In a very sort of HMS way. And he just looked at me with pure fear in his eyes and was like, oh, Drita Podraga. Like pure, actually, like.
That I have.
Yeah.
Shitted on.
Yeah, he looked really scared. And obviously, because he accidentally nearly killed someone. But yeah, that was crazy.
And you've interpreted that as to shit on.
To shit on a rope. Because I looked it up because it sounded so cool. Because obviously it means I've made a mistake. But there's two arguments about the etymology of where the phrase comes from. And it either comes from horses and carts, where a horse shits on the rope as it's pulling the cart. Or it comes from boats, where someone shits on the rope that then they use for the sails and the anchor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd go for the horse stuff.
Yeah.
Because when the horse shits, it shits on the vehicle.
On the cart and the
ropes and on the drag is the thing that drag means to stretch, to drag. To drag.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's so you've heard that and you thought, wow.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Padraga. It sort of rhymes as well, like we were talking about rhymes earlier. So it's...
Isn't it good Norwegian food?
It is, but not every dish, but most of them are very good. And today we're going to taste something that's made locally here in Horten, and it's something called fiskekake.
A fish cake.
Yes.
So it's different from the UK fish cakes. I think I better describe it first because it's got no potato in it. It's just processed fish that looks like it's been through a mangle and mixed up and then just splattered into a cake shape and then fried on either side.
So it's a fish made of cod and fish cake made of cod and hyse. And hyse is a mystical fish that nobody knows too much about. It's a shit fish.
A shit fish?
Yeah, it's like worth nothing and it's just a stupid fish, I think, which has some qualities of binding the stuff together or some stuff like that.
Gives me confidence.
So if you have a fish cake or many cod products, they could contain more amount of hyse than the cod.
Cod.
But they will always emphasize the cod. I think hyse is called haddock.
Haddock.
Yes.
Ah, that makes sense.
So haddock has no respect in Norway. It's like,
I like haddock.
You can't get the hyse cake.
Oh.
Because then it's like the cheapest thing. But they use a lot of hyse to fill in to make it possible to make cod because cod is more expensive.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they don't even know anything about hyse either. If you ask someone to draw a hyse,
they wouldn't know how to draw one.
No.
Oh.
And there was a case a couple of years ago about some smuggling going on in Norway in packages where they just wrote 25 kilos of hyse. And hyse is like a fish you don't know so much about, so you wouldn't open and check out stuff because it's
weird.
Yeah. So they managed to smuggle a lot by just calling the packages hyse as well. Oh, hyse. Yeah. I don't want to get into some hyse trouble here.
I like that.
If it was cod, I would open it and, hey, where's the beard?
Yeah.
Because cod has a beard.
I like that.
A goatee. Please.
Right. So I'm going to eat this. It's cold.
Cod, yes, cod.
Cod and it's cold.
Yes, it's cod.
Okay. I'm going to try a little bit now.
I was trying to make a joke here.
I'm fine.
You can eat it cold and you can heat it up if you want to eat it for dinner. Please give it a dice.
I definitely regret eating it cold. I think it would be a lot nicer hot. Actually, the aftertaste is quite nice. The texture was a bit dense. I'd give this a 3.5 on the dice, I think.
Language power.
3.
Yeah, 3.5.
You didn't like it?
It was all right. I think if it was hot, it would definitely be 4. But because it's cold, I think a 3. And there's nothing with it, no sauce or anything. So I can see it being nice with some sauce and other things, but just on its own, cold, it's, yeah.
So a 3 on the dice. Okay.
Yeah, 3.
And so you wouldn't buy this in a shop?
I might buy it as a part of a meal, but just to buy to snack on its own, I don't think I would eat it at all. I think I'd much more likely to buy a shot kecker instead, which is
Language power.
Follow us on Instagram and our Facebook page, Language Power. And don't forget to leave a comment, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And this is another thing. If you really enjoyed the episode, please recommend it to a friend that you think would like it, because that would really, really help us out.
Please follow us.